Hello everyone, welcome to We Love Soaps TV. I'm Roger Newcomb and I'm here with actor, writer, producer Jake Silbermann. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
I wanted you on today to talk about your new film, Stuffer. When we spoke a few months ago, you were still in the editing process, but what's the current status?
It is a completed film. It is out. It's a go. We've just started submitting it to several festivals, and yeah, I mean, it's done. It's been the process is just about over.
Wow. So what's that like for anybody who hasn't done it before? You just kind of fill out festival submission forms and you kind of wait back for news and...
Yeah, you essentially you fill out the forms, you send it out with the requirements. Every festival is a little bit different. Some require 2 copies of the film, some require just 1, some require more than that. And yeah, you send it out. I know I've already heard back the word consideration for the first ones that we've sent out to, which is good, and the other ones we wouldn't have heard back yet anyway. So I think we're gonna have I'm very hopeful for a good solid turnout.
You haven't done any official screenings, but have you with at least some of the crew watched it together or?
No.
No.
I have watched it with Nate, the director, and I think some of our sound and editing guys, and but no, we haven't really. It has not been viewed. It's been viewed by a few friends and other people who helped us along the way. People who helped us cast, and but it has not been. No more than I'd say 4 people have watched it at one time at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So what inspired you to actually write the script?
I don't know anymore. I remember it's really kind of in my memory. I knew I wanted to write something. I knew I wanted to write a short that would be fun and different, and I wrote it within a week. I wrote I wrote it in 2 weekends. Excuse me, 1 weekend. I wrote the first 8 pages, and first 8 or 9 pages, and the second weekend, I wrote. It's only about 19 pages long, and yeah, the second weekend I kind of wrote it in these big spurts. Maybe a few pages. Kind of went over the first few pages that I had written within the first week, and then just. I don't know. It's kind of how I write in spurts, not necessarily groups of time. I try to be better with that. It takes a lot of discipline, and I think that is ultimately the better way for me to work. But yeah, I wrote this within these two blocks, and I wanted something that was first of all interesting to me as a writer, something that I would want to be reading over and over again. Then to me as an actor. I wanted all the roles to be interesting for all the actors, and I wanted it to be interesting for the director and for the line producer, the person who's really gonna make the person who could say, yes, we can do this. This is all feasible. And yeah, that was kind of the reaction I got. I found a director who was very interested in doing it, and a line producer who said, yes, we can do this. So
right. The line producer does a lot. The
line producer does a lot. I mean. They're the ones who are getting, if you need, if you need a big macaroni and glue sign that says "Welcome Home," which we happen to need in the film, they make that happen.
So what was your writing experience before this? I know about your acting career, but have you written screenplays before?
Just little things, little projects here and there. Really nothing. This was the first thing that I said. This is getting done. I'm doing this, and I did it. Yeah, I can't really say there's much before that.
Now you've done, your own Gossip Girl, your own As the World Turns, the past 3+ years. So you've been on national TV as an actor, but are you nervous at all about having your writing put out there to the world?
No. There's certain scenes that couldn't remain in the film because we didn't want it to be over a certain length. So there's certain. I'm very fond of writing dialogue. That I really enjoy that, and But no, to answer your question, I'm beating around the bush. To answer your question, no, I'm proud of it.
Right. Good. So you talked about Nate Crooker, who's the director.
Yeah.
what was the process and what was the timeline between when you finished the script and when you actually went into production?
A long time. I mean, that's to be expected. That's how it works. I just saw a play recently that Trent Dawson was in that was finished. The first drafts were finished writing.
The revival.
The revival, yeah. It was wonderful. He was wonderful. The cast was great, and the producer and me after I saw it, I was going, this would make a great film. And I happened to find out within a few minutes after the film that the rights had been sold, and. But I think I finished writing it in March of '09. We didn't. When we started, we didn't start filming until May of 2010.
Right. Well, that's not like that long in the grand. Some scripts go on for years.
Sure, I know, but I mean there were several times when we just thought this project where it just wasn't going to happen. Just wasn't going to happen. And then Kickstarter came around, and it was funny because a friend of mine, he works for an entrepreneur who was approached by the Kickstarter people for their initial funding. Like this is not an old site, and he came to me and said, because I had initially gone to him to see if he wanted to invest, and. He said he couldn't, but that I should check this site out, and that's what made it happen. I mean,
so for people who don't know, Kickstarter is a site where people can donate money for different indie projects.
It's a great site. Yeah, people can. It's about raising funds for artistic endeavors, basically, and doing it through a kind of rewards process. And what I loved it was helping design the rewards process for this project. I love the idea that people who participated will get a copy of the line script, will get a copy of the film, depending on what people were able to donate. It also just really makes this a communal effort in the best of ways.
Right.
I mean, everybody who participated is a part of this, and that's really wonderful.
So what would you say to fans and supporters who donated to help make this happen?
I have said it, I will always say it, is thank you, and thank you many times over. And I mean everyone involved knew how this came about, and everybody on the production, every one of the actors, I think really, they're all hardworking people to begin with, but knew that there was this collective of people who believed in this project from the beginning and wanted to kind of put that much more effort in.
All right, so what can you tell us about the storyline in Stuffer without giving too much away? I've seen some short films where if you just knew one thing, you probably knew the whole plot. So what can you reveal about the story in Stuffer?
Yeah, I don't have a problem telling the plot. I think, it's about a female officer returning from Afghanistan, from the front lines in Afghanistan, to her husband and child back home for fear that they're going to foreclose on their home. And she's coming home with a secret, and the secret is that she is smuggling heroin. So it's, that's the outline for it, but there's kind of more that goes on, and I don't want to say much more than that because I think there are some fun little, it's a short film, so there's not too many twists and turns, but the way it unfolds and the way it happens is interesting, I think. What I like is everybody who I have shown it to kind of asks me, they have their own ideas of the ending, and I never really want to interfere with somebody's idea. I think that whatever people take from it is a truth, is their own truth. I have my own truth for it, but there's, at this point in the story, there's no wrong answer.
So when you're cast in this lead role, it's Rose Vasquez?
Vasquez.
Did you know right away you had the right person, or is it just what you pictured when you were writing it?
Well, no, that's the great thing about casting is that I had one idea, and and when I started seeing these different people, I realized, well, if we cast her, it's one film. If we cast her, it's another film entirely. It's because of different energy that people bring to it, and if you have, just the strength or the differences in a person drive the character in a way that the audience will relate one way or another, and who you have is a big part of the story. And I was just, Danielle, we loved the work that she did. I mean, even in her auditions, I pretty much knew. I was like, there were other people that we were looking at, but she was who we wanted.